Peace to the gods. So first, I want to give praise and honor to the most honorable, immortal Grandmaster Chief who leads you, the Christ who spark in my mind. In saying that, I'm just acknowledging and giving praise and gratitude to my higher self for sparking this thoughts in me and activating this information in my genes. So while I'm posting this video, is just touch on a saying that goes, nobody is perfect. We are reflecting the light from the Grandmaster Chief. It is actually that everyone and everything is perfectly poised in this time and space for you to contribute to the unfolding of life. You are here for a purpose and you are here to fulfill your purpose. Whatever choice you make will determine the route you take to fulfill that purpose. There is a short way for us to reach our potential, but because we live in a society that goes against life, we make choices that goes against life. In other words, we sin. You can say that in our early ages we do it unknowingly because we were born into a society and we were raised by parents and community that didn't know better. But we're coming to that age now, the age of Aquarius, the age of information, where the information is available for all of us to tap into in order for us to elevate consciously, to come into a way of thinking where we see the light inside the truth, where we see what life really is, and we come face to face with the real battle that we need to fight in order for each and every one of us to come into a space in our mental minds where we will have the urge to live in tune with nature, to do the best for your body physically and to do the best for your mind mentally. All of us, we need to study knowledge of self. And when I say knowledge of self, I mean you should put in the effort to get to know yourself. You should put in the effort to get to understand the mechanics of your body. And if you should put in the effort to understand the mechanics of our mind. To understand the mechanics of our body, we can get this through biology, where you will acquire the knowledge of what makes up your body, and how your body functions. If you study astrology, you will come into the knowledge where you will understand how your mind works, and you will understand where your personalities and your characters come from. That is your true ego. That is our natural ego, which the universe intended for us to have if it is we were living in tune with nature. But because we are living in an environment, a simulated environment, a fake environment, where everything is stolen from nature in order to build our lives, to build our communities, to build our cities. We are constantly bombarded with information that goes against life. And when we are constantly bombarded with information, this happens to the media, this happens through movies, this happens through billboards, this happens to signs on windowsills. Everything bombards you daily to place these things into your subconscious, because why the elite knows that 95% of the human experience runs on a program which is situated in your subconscious, and only 5% of your life, the conscious decisions you take, runs a small portion of your life. So when this elite, when this European mindset, when this Babylonian system placed all of these programs in order in our environment, for years and years as we grow up, these things goes into our subconscious, and this is how we act out our lives. And when we do this, we think that this is normal because your subconscious mind does not have the ability to discern between wrong and right. It only picks it up and it plays it out. That's why these shops, they put it up on huge, they spend huge amounts of money to put up big billboards in order to fall in the eyesight of all human beings. And even if you think this doesn't influence you, it does on a subconscious level. They put up alcohol there, they put up clothes there, they put up stuff for your skin, for your hair, everything. And even if you think this does not influence you, it does on a subconscious level, and sooner or later you will act out this impulse and either fall into the trap of consuming or buying this thing, which afterwards you will realize you didn't even need it anyways, and it just stands there. So coming back to everything is perfectly poised in time to contribute to the cycle of life. Yes, everything is perfectly poised, but none of us is flawless. So by saying and explaining now what it is to be born into the society, and how our subconscious is being programmed, and how it plays out in our lives, this makes it that we are flawless. This makes it that we sin and make mistakes. This makes it that we make the wrong decisions. But now in the age of Aquarius, where the knowledge is available, we should apply this to our lives. And by making this video, even though nobody is looking, this is more as to a reminder to myself. This is more as to a catalyst for myself to help me elevate to a level of frequency where it will be easier for me to make the decisions that I need to make. The decisions that I need to make that will be conducive to my growth. I have debilitations in my birth chart, and when I say birth chart, this is when you acquire, this is astrological programming, not to go into that now. You need to study that, your astrological programming. You can go to tarot.com and fill in your birth date, your name, where you were born and what time you were born, and it will show up a circle that looks like a picture-sized circle, and all the zodiac signs, planet is placed randomly in that thing, and that is basically how the planets were aligned when you were born. So what I wanted to say is, when you come into this way of thinking, and when you study astrological programming, you will find out your debilitations, which mean you will find out your weaknesses and you will find out your strengths. If I can touch on 3 weaknesses of mine, is that I lack the ability to keep my focus for too long on one thing, and I have trouble choosing between what I want and what I need, and in more cases than not, I have a short fuse, I have a temper. And the Grandmaster Chief, there's a lingo that is bringing into the era where we call each other reflection. And when you call each other reflection, this is basically to remind yourself that there is no separation between me and you, that I am you and that you are me. And even though this might sound weird, it is a truth and it is fact. It is proven through the holographic universe. Look it up. It is proven through the holographic universe that whatever you perceive to be outside of you, even your own hand, if you perceive your hand, this is all playing out in your mind. The first Hermetic principle says that all is mind in the universe is mental. That everything that is playing out in the mind of God, and you yourself, you are a piece of God. Playing out a life experience to give the Almighty consciousness the experiences of being you, me, a dog, a tree, being a blood cell in you, being a cell in you, everything that you can think of, it is God. God playing out a simulated holographic universe, giving you the illusion of life. Take it for example, that man invented this thing where you can plug in your phone into it, put it on your eyes, and you find yourself in a simulated environment that looks as real as fuck. You can go into this, put this thing on it, you don't even ask questions, you put this thing on your face, you plug your phone in, and then you find yourself in another world. And this is created by man. So now look at this objectively and look at it with an open mind. If man can create that, where in your living room you just put something on your eyes and you find yourself in another world or another country, what is the universe, what is God, what is Allah capable of? If they can do this with machinery, Allah created everything organically. God created everything organically. And when I say Allah God, I'm not talking about the man in the sky. I'm talking about the universe. I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about the sun, the earth, all of the planets, all of life on earth, everything that is connected. So like I said, if man could create that, what more is Allah capable of creating? We too, we are experiencing assimilated environments. And we are all universes running parallel to each other. So when Allah is the source, the primordial darkness of the universe, a quantum field of possibilities where everything is possible, the sun is serving as a catalyst to stream all that possibilities in this earthly realm, being split up by the astrological programming and giving each of us a subjective view of life, giving each of us a subjective ego where we fall into the trap of separation, where I believe that I am me and me alone and that you are separate from me. But now in the age of Aquarius, where we believe that global warming is happening and that it is a bad thing for the earth, this is actually nature, this is God, this is Allah fighting back, coming back to collect his children, And this global warming is happening now, that all the dormant DNA that is asleep, all the dormant genes that is asleep inside of our DNA is being awoke now. Information is being awoke now. Information that is giving you these thoughts, information that allows you, for when you hear this message, you immediately resonate with you and you can believe it and understand it. And not all of us will be so fortunate as to grasp this message or to understand this message. But it is so that it is now that time when God, Allah, will collect what it is. Even the most smallest flower, ask yourself, the most smallest flower, can it grow without the sun? No, it cannot. And that small seed, you can put two identical seeds next to each other. But as soon as it grows, the sun, the light photons, which this seed absorbs with the nutrients in the earth, allows it for that, the correct genes in the DNA of that genes to be activated to allow that to be a sunflower or to allow that to be a tulip flower. So too it is allowed now for us that certain genes is being activated inside of our DNA to allow it for us to come into a certain consciousness, to have these certain thoughts that allow you to become better. Because this life that we are currently living, this is far from what we are supposed to be. This is far from what you are capable of being. Each and every one of us, if you want to believe it or you don't want to believe it, you are God. I am God. I'm saying it with my conscious mind, and it is my daily struggle to believe it with my subconscious mind. Because whatever you say with your conscious mind, and it doesn't go with your subconscious mind, it will be in vain. But if you do it repeatedly, as I'm doing now by proclaiming the kingdom of God, in that I am God, experiencing life through Franco, and to give God the experience of being Franco. If you don't do this repeatedly, you will fall victim to losing this consciousness, as they call it, going back to sleep. I realized that in order for me to overcome these shortcomings, to overcome these weaknesses of me, I understand now why the Grandmaster Chief chose that we call each other reflection. Because like I said, I have a temper. So as soon as I come into that space where a next person It's evoking anger in me. I must just remind myself that this is me presenting myself with a test, because that is what life is. A continuation of tests. A continuation of tests. And all of life is just moments in time happening. And if you put all that moments together, that is life happening. And whatever is happening to you, that is half of it. How you react to what is happening to you, that is a complete experience of life. And it will take you to the next moment, to the next moment, to the next moment. And when you pass all these tests, you will elevate mentally. But that does not mean you are exempt from the human experience. Because with a new level of consciousness comes a new devil. So the stronger you become, the stronger the trials and tribulations and challenges will become, that will be faced, that will be placed before you. I have also a difficulty to choose between what I need and what I want. And I heard the song this morning on the radio that you should try to find a way to make what you need is what you want. You should try to find a way to make what you need is what you want. And this in itself, this is a lesson that you will need to learn, that will make things easier for you. Not 100% easier, but you will have an understanding which will take you to a higher level, a higher frequency of thought, where you will understand things better. And the more you will understand these things, you will reach a level where you will understand that in order for you to reach your full potential, you need to be in an environment that is conducive to you. It is the same like if you were a drug addict and you no longer want to be a drug addict, and you find yourself where you know that, look here, this is wrong and this is not for me. It is not going to help you if you still find yourself every day with these drug addicts, or you find yourself in a situation or place or a house where drugs is being used. You need to remove yourself from that environment and place yourself in an environment that is conducive to your growth, where you need to be. So that is just on a small level. So on life, on a bigger scale, in a bigger level, it works exactly the same. Going to school, going to college, going to work your whole life and die. That is the status quo of the matrix. That is the status quo of Babylon. And that is what the elite want, because that is how they harness our energy to sustain their system, to keep running. It is now time for the human race to wake up and break free from this mental slavery, that is not the way of life, that we need to wake up, come into ourselves and come together and move away from the system and not give our energy to it anymore. Live in tune with nature. Come into your true potential. And when I say this, I'm speaking more to myself than to anyone else. You need to break free from attachments. You need to, and when I say attachments is people, things, manners, attitudes, certain character. All of that, you need to detach yourself from it, and that will feel like you will die. It will feel like you will die because you need to change. And when you really feel in your essence that person, you are no longer that person, you need to change everything that reminds you of that person, and not take you back, and not summon the spirits of that person anymore. And it means even when changing your name, you will have to do that. Change your name, change your environment, change your way you eat, change the people you interact with, change your appearance, everything. The human race has been programmed and victimized for generations and generations and generations. That is why we find ourselves in this rat wheel, in this continuation of living against self, living against ourselves. We are killing each other. Everything that we do is just evil. But it happened so gradually and step by step over the years that now that it's happening on a huge universal scale, it doesn't even scare us anymore because we see it as normal. This video is me proclaiming the kingdom of God, reflecting the message that I receive. This is the truth that I am putting out here into the universe, as it is not my truth. It is not the one's truth that I heard it from, and it is not your truth alone, but the truth of all humanity. And at present, the world is sick. And we living in this Babylon system, giving our energy to the matrix, to the system that is hurting the earth. We are a virus, we are cancer, giving all our energy. Even if you switch on the light, even the wooden chair you sit on, even the steel in your car, the petrol that is in your car, the paper that you're writing on, all these things come from nature. And it's hurting nature, pumping oil out of the ground, cutting down trees, toiling the earth, taking out diamonds, gold, all of these things that we use and give nothing back. We are contributing and giving our energy to killing nature, even by eating the animals that is dying needlessly and ruthlessly to give us a piece of meat. And the only way we can free ourselves from this is if we remove ourselves from the society and place ourselves in nature, where you have abundant food which is fruit, where you have trees to give you shade and pure oxygen, we have proper sunlight, where you have streams there with clean water, and you can walk bare feet to ground with the earth and clear out the blood clots in your veins. This is not life. And the more we talk about it, the more we remind each other of it, and the more we spread the message. It will help, if not for us, for our children, to break free from this and just realize that we are slaves. Slaves to the lower self. Slaves to a way of thinking that is going against life. We are killing ourselves slowly but surely. And what we do to ourselves, we do to the earth, and what we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. So this is, I put this out for me today. I put this out to my reflections, which is you. And I hope this is a seed planted in your garden, and that it may take root and grow. I love myself. Peace to the gods.